Let me fire an invite off to Bobby here, and then we will get moving on the trade deadline, one of the trade deadline slates. Okay. All right, that should be good. Let me just text him as well. Oh, there it is. All right. So, welcome to the trade deadline, one of the trade deadline slates. How many of those do we get? When's the trade deadline? Thursday?
Thursday at 1.
All right. Well, NBA is not for the faint of heart. We knew that. We know that going in.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, not to mention, we're still waiting on just all kinds of news. Not the least of which being who's starting for a whole bunch of teams. So we're just kind of fortunately the Portland game, for example, is last. So if you don't feel like taking a stance on something early, you could just keep putting it off. But the Indiana thing's kind of important, right, to start off with, isn't it?
Well, we don't know if Brogdon's playing. That's
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's massive.
And if Brogdon is not, I imagine he's not playing.
Okay.
But if that's the case, even who? I kind of want to know who's starting. Like if Isaiah Washington, Isaiah Washington, you know what I mean? Is that his name, Isaiah Washington?
Dwayne
Washington. If Dwayne Washington starting, that would be nice to know.
It could be Sykes, who's barely got a projection. Or now he does a little bit, but
right. It could be Sykes also.
I do think Lance Stevenson getting in the mix is probably a better idea even than I made it sound earlier, which is crazy. But if there's no Brogdon, that's one of my weird plays of the day. But because you just can't say that he's a better play than the other guys in the later games. But there is a chance that you could play him in addition to those guys. This game has a lot of different possible game scripts, but they do have a lot of bodies still in Indy at least.
Well, let's think about this first. So the first game before the Indiana news, maybe before the Indiana news comes out, I'm not even sure. This Phoenix Philadelphia game. Let's just cross this off. But with the exception of Embiid, do you have any real desire to play anybody in this game?
On FanDuel, I have an Embiid Booker lineup that I like. Okay. I really can't justify. Look, anybody can have an outlier game. It's basketball, and even if they do, though, you could see a guy like Jay Crowder could put up 40 fantasy points tonight, even if he was going to be 15% on, which he's going to be 1% on. Even if he did, there's so many guys who are going to get there later. I just think it's strategically wrong. A little different on FanDuel, though, because I think that, the swappability of having the utility spot and things like that, it make DraftKings a lot more desirable to do that. But I'm very comfortable on DraftKings just Xing this game out. And if Devin Booker puts up the I'm going to beat you game, then he does. But he literally would have to get 70 for me to feel like I don't still have a good chance. And Embiid would probably have to get 80. So I don't feel bad about skipping those guys on DraftKings at all.
And even if he gets 80, you still could play Jokic if you really want to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Is the Phoenix Philly? So we're on the same page there. Booker. You're saying Booker on FanDuel is more viable.
I think he's viable on DraftKings too. I just think because of the position you're taking up on DraftKings, the prices are different on FanDuel. So you're not taking up one of, I'm not saying all of these guys are going to get there, but one of DSJ, McLemore, Simons, Ellaby is small forward over on FanDuel, but Davion Mitchell. Like you just want like all of those guys in your lineups. You know what I mean?
So
And
let's so I was gonna say, so let's continue the process this way. Okay, so we don't worry about Phoenix, not worried about Philly. So Indiana, Atlanta, we're just kind of waiting on starters and whether Brogdon is going to play. And
yeah, whether Brogdon plays is definitely the bigger piece of news.
right, but my point is we're waiting on that, so we can't really even make any decisions on Indiana yet anyway. So I'm not even worried about that. Atlanta, let me look at DraftKings first. Okay, DraftKings. I actually do have Trae Young as one of the as one of the better plays. So let's see this month. So that's something we could I think we can agree on. Is there anybody else from Atlanta that's standing out for you?
John Collins is a good tournament large field play. It's a great example of a good. If you end up like at 6,900, I would rearrange some things like Desmond Bane and John Collins are two guys who are not going to be particularly owned. And I think Bane might get a little bit of owned. Well, maybe not that much. But I like they're two guys who can easily get you like 40 some odd plus. And I mean, Collins just put up 50 the other day, or 49 and a half. So I think those guys, like, I think that he's viable, but I don't think it's like a necessary thing. And where I'm playing Trae, I'll still play Duarte even if Brogdon plays some. I'm not going to play him everywhere though. If he's out, it does become a lot harder to just fade that unless you want to play whoever starts, which would be Kiefer Sykes or Dwayne Washington. Like I said, Atlanta's got a lot more bodies for a team that just got rid of, they just are missing the big pieces. But even if without Brogdon, they would have 10 guys who are available to play who actually do play sometimes.
And unfortunately, you really just can't play Herter in that price range. I mean, it's just going to be so many.
I don't think so.
So many better plays.
He's viable, like for sure. Like he could put up a number because he does that sometimes. But
you got guys that are 3K that are going to project for higher. Like it's.
Oh yeah, not only they can project for higher. Like Herter, like the other night, what did he score? Like he had 26 points and he scored 36 fantasy points. And then he has 20 or 19 points. He scores 30. He doesn't do anything else when Trae's there. So if you need him to get hot and then somehow that to be the better score, I would rank Herter right with the Crowder idea. Like neither of them are going to end up in any of my lineups, I don't think.
Boston, Brooklyn.
Brogdon and Jackson are out.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll wait. We'll get some updated stuff on that. So Brogdon's out, and which out? Isaiah Jackson.
Yeah.
So all those Indiana bigs.
Now they don't have so many bodies as much as we were talking about it.
Now you're talking about Brissett and Goga are going to get between the two of them.
Well, I was already in on Goga. Yeah. Goga was in for me regardless of what happened.
And is Taylor in?
Taylor should be playing.
Okay, it says illness questionable. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. But if they announce the other two out, I'm assuming that means it's more likely he plays.
Well, and you know what else? I mean, Torrey Craig got minutes. So it's Taylor, Craig, Brissett. These are like guys in the front court. Goga. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Duarte, Stevenson. We got to see who's starting, Washington or Sykes. Okay, so we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
What do you like on the Brooklyn side? I have the top three values being Blake, James Johnson, and Kessler. Are you in agreement with that? Do you like any of them more than the other? Do you want to fade any of them more than the other? Where are you on those three guys and anybody else on the Brooklyn side?
Patty Mills by far number one. Everybody else is just meh. And I do have exposure to them, but I guess the way I would go would probably be James Johnson, who's going to get you 5 or 35. Kessler Edwards, who will probably get you 12. Cam Thomas, you can mix in. Blake Griffin. I really am struggling with what to do with this team. And again, I would like to see a starting lineup before I decide. And I'm not really playing anything before this, so I can wait for the starting lineup. But I do think as of right now, it would be, for the value part of it, I guess it'd be, still Patty Mills. Patty Mills, James Johnson, Kessler Edwards, then Blake probably. I'm really kind of a little confused by the projection for Blake. being quite as high as it is. It's not that I don't think that he can get there. It's always weird when you see a guy get a higher projection than he's had the entire season. Yeah. And there was a game earlier this year where Patty Mills, all these guys were out, and Patty Mills was also out, and Blake Griffin had like fantasy points.
Anything on Boston?
Love Tatum on FanDuel.
Okay.
I like Smart a lot as an off the board.
I like him on DraftKings.
Plus fantasy points. I'm telling you, like I feel very good about it if this game stays reasonably close and no one's going to play him.
I got nothing from the LAC Memphis. You like anything there? You like Morant at all, or not really?
I think that Desmond Bane is my favorite play, and Morant would be my second favorite play. If we needed value, I would say Zaire Williams. Well, Zaire Williams you could use as a pivot off of like Ellaby or something like that.
Houston, New Orleans. I'll start with this one. On FanDuel, like I'm playing Brandon Ingram.
On both sides, just playing Brandon Ingram.
And on both sides, but specifically for me, at least on FanDuel, he's like showing up as like a smash play. Anything else that becomes a priority here on the New Orleans side or Houston or anything?
I like Joval on FanDuel, and I do think you can play Şengün more than I maybe did earlier because it's okay. I don't like that's an interesting one. Like I actually like the idea of playing him instead of Blake, but the opportunity is so much more there for Blake. I'm sort of struggling with that decision, I guess. And I just wanted I have like 5 or 6 big lineups between both sites, and like, do I want to have 0 with Blake in it or 1? And that's where I'm deciding between Şengün and Blake. I love Kevin Porter Jr. on DraftKings.
Detroit's still waiting on Cade Cunningham
as well. Sorry,
Detroit's still waiting on Cade Cunningham.
He's playing probably.
Okay.
I mean that's the word I've got, but it's not for sure at all. And I don't think we need to even worry or talk about it.
Dallas, I still like Luka.
Yeah, Luka, and if you want to get frisky and DFS on FanDuel at 4,200 is oddly like cheaper than all the other Portland guys over there. So like, even though he doesn't put up these huge numbers or anything that very often, it's just it's enough of a way to get a little bit funky that I don't mind. I don't think I'm going to do any of the Kleber thing that I thought about earlier. And I hate playing Finney Smith when there's this much value, but I just want to throw him out there because he's a guy you can use a little bit as a placeholder, at least play a little bit later. And I would say, if he was in the first game, I wouldn't even think about him. But again, we don't know what's going to happen in between now and 8:30.
Okay. Another thing, which is kind of fallen. I don't know if anybody's talked about it, but in case anybody didn't know, Mitch Robb is out for the Knicks, leaving Taj Gibson starting probably at 3K flat.
Just real quick before you do that, is that there seem to be people complaining about your sheets not pulling up or something.
What does that mean pulling up?
Anybody having trouble pulling up sheets? And it looks like I don't know. Are you guys able to do it? So let us know out there if you can, because
I would like from the site.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'll relaunch.
If somebody else doesn't mind doing it, so we can just keep going, it'd be great.
I'll stop what I was doing and do that then. Okay.
No. You shouldn't. We can keep going. Well, somebody else, if you don't mind checking, guys, that would be nice. Carnes is back with the Lance. There he goes, Carnes. Let's go do it, buddy. I'm going to play a little bit of Lance. That's for sure. I don't know how much of it's going to happen, but I could definitely see Lance having a big game here. Spend down is all the later guys we talked about already. To answer Kevin Wise's question, is Mitchell or Brunson better than Patty Mills? I like Mitchell a little bit better than Patty Mills, but I think it's close. And again, I'm playing the timing game. You still might lose De'Aaron Fox, although I expect him to play today, but you still might not have De'Aaron Fox, and that would open up. That would make I think Mitchell a better play. But I do think Patty Mills is right there. I think it's very close between the two of them.
I don't know. I'm pulling up the sheets right here, so I don't know what to tell you.
So it's working?
That's what I see.
Yeah, it's okay. Good. That's great to hear. And I see that somebody else is saying the same. That's good. Just want to double check that.
So I forgot what I was saying, but Taj Gibson probably starting, probably 3K flat. Any interest in that?
No.
Okay. Without Mitch Robb in there, with what's up?
I'm sorry. I would just say that somebody asked about Greg Monroe earlier, Taj Gibson. I think these would be just just epically awful plays.
Well, hold on. So Mitch Rob is out in a matchup where you have to have people playing against Jokic.
Randall's bigger than Taj Gibson is.
So what I was getting at is that if you're not going to believe that, if you don't want Taj Gibson, maybe Randall's a really good play.
Yeah, I don't have any interest particularly.
Okay.
Not say these guys couldn't get there, but just like look at the other 3K guys. You really should be looking at them versus Justice Winslow.
Well, no, that's fine. But what I'm saying though is why is Randall not a good play? These are a lot of rebounds. And these are a lot of rebounds.
How's he going to get rebounds with Jokic there? The centers don't do much against Denver. It's the second of the back-to-back from Utah to Denver. I think Randall's fine.
Okay.
I don't see any. I don't think he's a great play. It's a tough matchup for him too. Still, I do think you could say the Mitch Robinson boost and everything. They have 12 guys. You might see Jericho Sims play a lot of minutes tonight, to be honest with you. If you want to get really large field tournament deep stuff, I would go Jericho Sims before I played Gibson. But I don't know the Randall thing. I mean, what's he going to play? He can't really play more minutes.
No, he's not going to play more minutes, but he's going to get those. You know what I mean? Like the rebounds that were going to go to Mitch Rob have to go somewhere. So if it's not going to be Taj Gibson, where else is it going to be?
Jokic. That's just my take. Plus, you have a pretty good rebounder in Barrett. Yeah, weirdly, the guy who would somehow benefit if they did have Randall at the 5 would be Kemba.
Well, that's another one I got to think about. I got to see.
I'm not doing it, but I get it if someone wants to.
And that's another thing you could do, man. You keep waiting. I'm not even kidding. If they actually announce that Kemba's going to start, I don't know why they would announce he's going to start, but.
I'm taking a picture of this because apparently something with your FanDuel sheets apparently isn't working.
Oh, so FanDuel. Oh, okay. So let me.
I'm going to send it to the guys and make sure.
No, I'll do it. Let me just take a look at it.
All right, guys. Sorry. Keep asking questions. Keep popping them in there. This is a very it's funny. I'm sorry if I sound short. It's a very clustered. There's a lot going on here on this slate, and I just feel like there's a lot of information that we still don't even know. And I want to see the rerun of Indiana and talk about that before we get out of here. Because I am curious if we can sometimes when they do that, maybe they'll throw out a starting lineup. And we have a projection. I mean, but we don't have the projections updated. But it seems like I doubt Washington would start, but I think that he still would be an interesting off the bench play. And I doubt that. I think Kiefer Sykes will start, is my guess, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I'm looking at the FanDuel sheets, and I don't know. I could see those too, so I don't know what to tell you.
It's everybody else in chat, but it's okay. Well, I'll send it over to the team.
I have to redo the projections anyway, so maybe I'll. Maybe it'll change. I don't know. I'm sharing my screen right now. This is exactly where I'm getting it from the site. So.
All right. So anyway, guys. Okay. So let's see. FD is like defense. They're all saying so. Apparently everybody's has this problem. So I just have a support team, and hopefully they'll fix it. You think it's all good now?
It's fixed. I'm looking at it. It's here.
No, but people still writing in that they're not getting it at the moment. You might be able to see it, but they can't for some reason.
No, I'm logged on as anybody. Okay, so whatever. I just refreshed it. Hope if there's any other issues, then I'm officially hallucinating. That's about all I can tell you.
All right.
So what I'm going to do is.
All right. So what? Taj even get the game last night?
Things seem to be okay.
No, Noel's not playing, Adam. Noel is out also.
Yeah,
look, I'm not saying there's no way he can get there. I just think I'm not doing it. No way. Which actually, the fact that he didn't play at all last night is like the only thing that gets me like peaked up a little bit. It's good. It looks like it's all good now, so that's great.
All right.
I like Batata and DK, Eric Johnson. I like him on both sides, to be honest with you. So I'm going to be playing him.
Eric Johnson, I haven't seen him around in a while.
Yeah, he comes in and out. Priorities are still the same basically. I think we went through. I'll just real quickly go through. I think you're going to want to attack this Indiana situation, but we don't know who the starting lineup is. So basically, on DraftKings, I think you'd be very wise to skip the first game. On FanDuel, I think you can play Booker and you can play Embiid, but I don't think I just don't see any reason you need to get involved in the first game with still no starting lineups and all that. Davion Mitchell, Justice Winslow, the Indiana guys, Duarte, Batadze stand out the most. And then we'll see what happens with who's starting Washington or Sykes. And I think Lance is a really good large field play. Brandon Ingram is a priority. Simon's a priority. McLemore a priority. Smith a priority. Dennis Smith Jr. a priority. But one of those guys won't start probably, and either one is fine still. Ellerby is a little bit lower down the list for me, but he would be the next priority for me. The problem is if you play four of them, what I'm doing on DraftKings is running it back with one Orlando, at least as of right now. I might change it because they're all swappable, but I'm running it back with either Suggs, Carter, or if I'm playing
Anthony,
Suggs, Carter or Cole Anthony. Yeah. I don't have new thoughts until without a starting lineup for Brooklyn. I don't think this is like we've seen this happen with Brooklyn before. Like Kessler Edwards, I think is an interesting play, but at this ownership, I actually think Patty Mills is still the best play on that side by a pretty good ways. And I have one Blake Griffin lineup, and I'm not sure I'm going to stick with that. That feels
I might X him actually.
There you go.
Dude, he's 55 years old and he hasn't had a good game ever. I mean, like, I don't know.
I mean, with all the guys healthy, he's put up 28 and 29 the last two games. So
is that going to be good enough? Is that going to be good enough? Or
that's with everybody healthy. That's with Harden and
is he really going to make it? Is that really going to matter with him?
More than it will anybody else except for Patty Mills.
Okay.
But that might be not at all. I mean, it's hard to know. You know what I mean? Kessler Edwards might do the same thing where he puts up 0 and he might put up 45 like he did that one time. It's just a high variance situation for a lot of ownership. So I'm trying to minimize that and go more for the later game. That's where I'm at personally. I think everybody in the later games is better for so many different reasons. But mixing in a Patty Mills, a Cam Thomas, a Kessler Edwards, a James Johnson, a Blake Griffin, I'm not trying to stack these guys up. If I do, I'd play two of them with Tatum on the other side on FanDuel. That's my current way of going. I don't even mind Bembry if on FanDuel because he actually you get 1,000 discount from him and the Portland guys. So at least there's some argument for it there.
I wonder if you end up leaving money on the table tonight.
On FanDuel, I have like 500, 400, 600 left on the table in different lineups. I don't think you should, to be honest. Like it's too many games.
Well, I'm not going to do it on purpose. I'm just saying that if it just happens that way. I mean.
Yeah, you might by the end of it, with the switching and stuff like that, and what news I'm sure we're yet to find out. But I don't know.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the day, they're like Giannis sits or something like that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that, though. Yeah, I don't think they would do that, actually. Milwaukee's one trip to LA, right? I mean,
I don't think Giannis is sitting. I love Giannis today. Those are the guys I'm using as spend ups. I have the most of Luka and Jokic, and after that, I have Giannis, LeBron almost all together. Because the thinking is the game stays close, you're going to get the best of those guys down the stretch. That's who I'm spending up on mostly. And then I am mixing in these Orlando guys in the run backs where I can. So I kind of like that little maneuver actually.
Yeah, that's that seems pretty pure. Like to play like 3 or 4 Portlands with Cole Anthony or something like that.
Yep. Kessler Edwards.
You think we got to check up for the sharp guy too, the Ray Sharp, Gerard Sharp, is that who his name is?
Yeah, if he's starting, then that's kind of an interesting little play right there.
Yeah, I just reran everything. I mean, but whatever, without starters. I just want to see how much what Goga looked like.
Yeah, he looks really good to me.
Yeah, what kind of player, by the way, is this CJ Ellaby? And the other one, the Trenton Watford.
They're fine, young guys. Not a whole lot crazy to their game, but it is a huge amount missing from their lineup. So, I mean, Atlanta. I mean, I think Lance is going to be like the chalk now.
Yeah, I have Lance as like the fifth or sixth best value on the slate.
Damn, there we go with our Lance thing again.
I thought we don't play. Is he at home?
No, but it's 8. There's 8 players.
I know. Yeah, but he's very shy. He would probably get the rest of the team involved.
He actually does, though. He gets a ton of assists. That's his main thing. His main source of production is other than the weird outlier game. He's really good with the assist numbers. He's already had a 14 assist game and a 10 assist game, and did it in 24 minutes. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, look, all of Indy is now where you should be sliding towards. I think Kiefer Sykes. I think you want Washington some too. I think you want Brissett some too. I think you want Brissett's the one I like the least. Terry Taylor is definitely interesting, assuming that. But I want to see who's starting. It's really hard to do without knowing who's starting. And I have to go build my lineups soon. So any other questions, guys, pop them on in, and I'll try to get to them. Dwayne Washington's really good. I mean, he's a shooter. He'll shoot. There's only 8 players for Indy, so you're going to want some exposure to that for sure.
Why is this shit going on?
I like Wendell Carter. I did like his over props because they just had him too low, but not. I mean, I do like Wendell Carter as a run back. Do I ever like full game? Yeah, of course I have full game stack sometimes. But I mean, what does that mean, a full game stack? I don't put 8 players in from one game. I have done 6 and 7, and I've actually done well. I had a 7-man one that won the 100K one time in the fadeaway. But it would help that it went into overtime. I think might have been in first anyway, but it still was it was a Denver with nobody and a Westbrook on OKC, and everybody else was hurt except for him, kind of a game. A couple years back. All right, let's see. I don't think that there is any Carter. Yeah, I like the Carter thing. I think there's no more questions. So I'm going to probably getting any Joe Val. I think Joe Val is a good tournament play for sure. I like him better on FanDuel, but he's not going to be very low owned over there. So you can take the shot on DraftKings for sure as a pivot off of any Nurkic ownership. I do like Nurkic too. But I feel like Indiana is now the place we want to you want to combine Indiana with the late games. And that's what I'm going to be trying to do. I mean, all of these guys are going to just blow up the projections. And I think that we should be heavily involved in that. And with that, I am going to get out of here and finish building my lineups. Guys, I will be in Discord, so please keep asking. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to update some site stuff. Annoying.
Giannis. All right, so I do have to run and get to building my lineups because I'm running out of time here, and I didn't get him in a couple times. Lance is going to be crazy popular, Karn. So I'm just warning you. Not only does he have to go crazy, he has to outscore all the other guys who are going to go crazy. But I do like him. I like him in addition to those guys, though. I would play him with those guys. That's the way I would treat Lance tonight. Sheets, what do you think you would do with Lance? I'm guessing your projections are going to love him now.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's 5th or 6th best value. I mean, but we talk about this. I mean, do we really want to play that much from the early game?
Yeah, but that game is 8 players.
Right.
It's the same. It's actually probably a better spot than the Portland spot.
Well, I'll do the same thing since you're leaving. I'll do the same thing I did yesterday, which everybody seemed to like. I'm going to build lineups with the most recent things that I have and see what I get. And then I'll let you know what kind of adjustments I think are worth doing.
All right. Good
So
luck, everybody.
The most recent things here.
Good luck. See you in a few sheets.
Yes, that's right. So we'll build, if I built 40 lineups, for example, using the same types of sliders I did yesterday, let me see what I get. I wonder if I get a bunch of Lance Stevenson, or if I still get all the Portlands, or what. It looks as though I'm getting a little mix of everything. Goga. I'm really not getting any Lance, though. Yeah, not really. Just like 5%, which is interesting. Let me just see. What do I have him at right now? Yeah, he's got to be. I got to update this because it's got to be better than that. No, I only have him only 21 fantasy points, so it's not like he's a lock or anything like that. So it's still a whole bunch of this Justice Winslow, which is good because it's like kind of the later game, which makes sense. So the guys I have to worry about is whether I want to take all that ownership in the Blake Griffin. I guess with 8, well, he's not an 8th guy. He's not in a game where they only have 8 guys. So maybe I will X out the Blake. You know, I can make that up. Got to have something from Brooklyn, though, no? Let me see what other guys I have exposure to on Brooklyn. Got a James Johnson, Cam Johnson. Not a lot of either. It's like all this Blake Griffin business. If I X him, then what's my plan? You know what I mean? Like what's my plan? My thesis is that just basically Boston blows them out, right? And in a way that none of these guys really smash, or at least I don't want to see. Here's my dilemma. I'm just like talking myself through this. So if I keep this as it is, if I look at the Brooklyn team, right? If I look at who I have exposure to, and this is DraftKings on Brooklyn, I only have 5% Patty Mills, 5% Cam Thomas, 5% James Johnson, 10%, and then that's it, and 55% Blake Griffin. So that seems wrong for some reason to have 55% Blake Griffin. So now what I'll do is it's a good old-fashioned game log checking. Okay, I just really want to see if there are games that I'll even accept. Let me just see what Blake Griffin's been doing. Blake Griffin has been, he had 29, 28, 20, 30. Is that good enough? Is that really good enough? 30 fantasy points. I guess 30 is just going to have to be good enough, but it just seems like a lot of exposure to have of him, especially in an early game. So this is my decision right now, whether just to X him or keep it. I don't think I'm gonna reduce him to like 15 or 20. Before I do anything else, let me. I'm gonna replace my lineups with what I have now, so I have something. Then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at FanDuel, see what my builds look like there. Meanwhile, freaking cut paste is a disaster. Okay, we'll go here. We'll go back into my DraftKings lobby. I still have this weird feeling I'm supposed to play Randall. Now maybe Bobby's not here. I can just do it. So I know he would yell at me if I did it. I don't know if I could play Taj though. Okay, so here is 40 to go over here. and then we'll go top 4 here, and then top 4 over here as well. Actually, and I'm going to probably tweak this. But I just want to just save some lineups, and, in case I lose power or something like that. I just want to make sure I have something. And let's put these over here. So we got to do 20. So 26, 45, number here. Then we'll do FanDuel. And then I think I'm going to end up forcing in Randall. I don't know. It's so stupid, but playing these back-to-backs in Denver, I mean, they're just going to get rolled. But I just have a feeling about this one. Let me just check. Let me just check your chat for a second. I don't know where you guys are as far as your browser, so I can't even answer questions at this particular moment. Oh, it's 6:30. Oh, 6:39. I got time. Let me see any questions here. Where's chat? Man. Is Lance at 95% enough? I don't really have him. Rashard Holmes against Cat. Is Ingram really going to have about 25% ownership? I will tell you this, X Factor. I think on FanDuel I might end up with 100%. But we'll see. Let me see what it builds, and then I'll. It's a really, really good value over there. Let's see what it looks like though. And I'll tell you this: I never play Brandon Ingram. I'm gonna definitely be forcing in some Randall. I don't know. I just feel like it's a play that's going to be ignored. But you take the, I don't know. I just feel you take Robinson out. There's just that rebound rate just got to go up. Anyway, all right. Let's see what it looks like with FanDuel. Now I don't know about the Rashad thing against Cat. I think I'd rather have a guy that's a little more active on the outside. Who is Greg Brown? Whoever it is, he's showing up in Portland. Yeah, I'm getting a hundred, as I mentioned, 100% Ingram on FanDuel. So that's just the, and just so you know, I have just no problem with it at all. Who is Greg Brown? That's a guy that, I don't have to X him. I don't even have to look into him because I'm gonna redo all this anyway. But for now, I'm getting some amount of Greg Brown in Portland. So we're gonna keep him for now. And then we'll change these lineups. Let's see. CSV edit. Yeah, you definitely got to be around to change stuff later, especially with delayed swaps and all that. Okay, so what do we got? 5 in the slam here. Slam, and then we'll do more here. Okay, so save that. That is 100% Brandon Ingram. All right. Fun business. So should I take a look at who this Greg Brown character is? Probably should, right? Let me see. Ellaby. I tell you, FanDuel really is the worst. Okay, here it is. Greg Brown. All right. Greg Brown is off the injury report for Tuesday's game against the Suns. He has been a small part of the Blazers' rotation. In 11 appearances, he's averaged 1.5 points and 1.3 rebounds in 4.6 minutes. But in the last 2 games, he has played 16 minutes. That's why he's showing up. So you have Nurkic and you have this Trenton Wadford guy. So that's the situation, right? The Wadford and the Greg Brown. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to redo this Greg Brown, this Portland business. Definitely in the $9, I'm gonna throw it in. But in the bigger buy-in, I'm probably not going to. Do I like Dennis Smith Jr. or Lance Stevenson more? Well, I don't want to be a dick, but like more for what? So let's look at DraftKings first. First of all, again, you really want to err on the side of the later games. Second of all, Dennis Smith Jr. simply has a better projection. So I don't want to see even in a vacuum. Not in a vacuum, in almost being equal. I just like Dennis Smith Jr. more. You have the combination of him being a late game, him having a better projection anyway. However, you can certainly make the case that Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be much higher owned, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, why isn't Lance Stevenson not going to, you know what I mean? Like, going to get a lot of ownership? Because a lot of people don't feel like waiting till later. You know, they'd rather just stack this Indiana thing and just rock it. You know. So this is what I promised I would do, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna wait on this. I'll tell you this: if I need some juice, who's this? It's for me. Hello. No. I mean, if I need a little more off the boardish, I will definitely play the Greg Brown. You watch. At the end of the day, I think they can't start Greg Brown because Nurkic is there. I don't know. They don't love him, but they played him 16 minutes, 2 games in a row. You know. Oh, so that's what I said I was going to do, right? I was going to play some Randall. Okay. So this is just literally no other reason that I'm stubborn. So I'm going to go back into SaberSim, so you know, and I'm literally just going to just allocate some exposure to Randall. And that's, you know, again, I don't usually do this. I'm kind of hoping when I do that, maybe some Blake Griffin exposure goes away. That's the one that I really rather not have so much of. All right, so let's do it. Let's put in. So if I put in Randall, right now I have 0, right? No, I have. Well, let me go back to my build. Sorry, 647. Okay, plenty of time. Meanwhile, I'm playing the big buy-in on hockey, and I'm leaving 1,000 on the table. By the way, Adam, I don't know if you saw it, but I had a 1% owned hockey guy get like 18 fantasy points last night. I was within like 1 goal of taking the whole freaking cheese down. It was like 8 points between like first and 20th or something like that. It was right there. Okay, so I currently have 0 Randall. So what we're gonna do is we are going to add. Okay, so where is? Well, I want to add exposure. Why can't I do that? Oh, right. Okay, so let's go Randall. Okay, so we're gonna put in. If I did 30% Randall, just for funsies, what does that look like? If I did 30% Randall, what I want to know is how much Blake Griffin I end up with. That's what. Oh, beautiful. Oh no, it's FanDuel. Oh, dang it. I suck. All right, let's go back. Maybe I will do that anyway. Let's go back to DraftKings. I can't show you the DraftKings, otherwise I would do it. So let me go back to my builds, and this is, I'm talking through this, right? DraftKings, where is it? Okay, here's my build. And then let me see what I have now. Come on, Saberson. Why are you getting in slow on me right now? Okay, here it is. So let's see. I have currently Randall 0. So if I added in 30, boom, 30% Randall. Again, what I want to know is how much Blake Griffin that leaves me. It puts me still at 47%. But I want to do this. I want to play 30% Randall. So now what we have to do is so now we're kind of fudging. So we're going to take these lineups now. Again, I'm playing 40 lineups. So first thing I'm going to do is go back into then the DraftKings. And you know what's going to happen? And this is what happens when you try to screw around, is when I drop these into my lineups, it's not going to let me, but my bigger buy-ins are going to get 0 of this one because these are going to be ranked lowest. The whatchamacallit, the Randall lineups. So then what I have to do is when I want to change these into the 20, so I'm playing 40 in this, and I got to figure out which 20 of these to put in the 20 max. So I'm going to take some from the middle. This way it's going to get some Randalls and some non-Randalls. Hope that makes some sense. And then what we're going to do is this. We're going to go here. And then we're going to go. I want to make sure to get at least one Randall from in a bigger buy-in. And then we'll probably go in and manually tweak this a little bit. And then which one we're going to put? Oh, we're going to do this 555, sorry. How much time do I have? Oh, 6:51. Okay. Well, I got plenty of time because I'm not playing anything in the early game anyway. But I'm going to go eat, so that is something somewhat relevant. So I'm staring at this on the other side and still have too much Blake, but this is cool. I got some Randall over here. No, I didn't get him in the. I didn't get him in any of the box outs. Yeah, I got him. I got him in a couple of box outs. Okay. Fade away, box out. A couple of box outs. Excellent. I like it. So that's my cross to bear. Is my Randall play. That's the stubborn, stupid play. Now, if I really had it in for it, I would play him on FanDuel too. But you know what? Maybe I do. Let's do that. Let's go get stubborn. Go into FanDuel. And you know, the funny thing is they are going to get roasted. They're going to get blown right out of the stadium. But you know, the good thing is I don't think he's going to get a median tonight. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he's going to get 35 fantasy points. I think it's 40. I think he's going to get 22 in a blowout, or he's going to get 60. So I'm kind of into it. So let me pull this up again. Oh, this is that same build. Now, the FanDuel one I could show you. So this is the same FanDuel build. This is the FanDuel build, and let me see what I did for Randall. So Randall, I don't have any, so we're gonna make him again a minimum 30. Oh, that's what I screwed up. I put minimum 30 for Ingram. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so we're gonna do this 30. This perfect. Now I got 30% Randall over here too. Why not? You know what? You know, this is America. I can play whatever I want, right? Tell you this, probably going to be low owned, right? And like I say, and you're going to find out why he's going to be low owned. You know what they say? The good thing about having 30% Randall when he busts is that you still have 70% of your lineups live. Oh, wait. Okay, here it is. Sorry. I don't even know who I'm apologizing to. I'm going to slam there. I think okay. Choose file. Now I want to make sure. I'm not convinced I got the exposure that I wanted, so I'm just going to double check my FanDuel exposure. Yeah, I didn't get it for some reason. Yeah, they got 25% Randall. Beautiful. And I did get. I do have some Philly from that first game. Some Embiid. Now let me take a look and see if there's any other news that has come up. I got Sterling Brown foot soreness. Kleber will be available. Kristoff remained out. Suns starting lineup, duh. Philly starting lineup, duh. 8 available for Indianapolis. Well, you thought the lineups for the NBA were going to be tough. Try the League of Legends slate 3 in the morning. the whole team, everybody's got COVID on both teams. I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely not playing that. Okay, so the reason why I was manually entering CSV instead of the entries tool in SaberSim, that is because, first of all, I'm not 100% adept at it yet, right? Second of all, you can't, using like the late swap tool, manually do stuff. Like here's an example. Okay, so let's say I wanted to, let me pull a build up. I could be mistaken, but let's say I pulled this build up. Let me wait for it. Hold on. Where is it? Come on. Okay. So let's say here's this let's say I have this build right here, okay? And I wanted to change this to, I don't know, let me just pull it up. Yeah, Saberson's getting really slow today. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's trying to tell me something about playing Julius Randle. So right now I could like change these exposures like from here, and it'll automatically change. Like for example, like if I want to change it to 20% Collins, I'll go in 20, and it'll automatically change these lineups. But if I want to use the entry editor, this is what happens. So let's use the let's go entries, and let's take my lineups from DraftKings. Okay, hold on. And I gotta go in a minute. But entry. Okay, so let's say I pull them up here, like boom, using the entry editor. So now it's loading my entries. But if I want to like change these, like into late swap, for example, and I do this, and I see what these lineups would look like with let's say these new projections. Once this is done in this template, I can't like manually screw with the exposures. I don't know if that makes any sense. So that's why, I don't really use the editor except when I'm straight late swapping, because one of the disadvantages is when you late swap, or when you use this late swap editor, you can't then manually tweak the exposures. You just kind of get what you get and you don't get upset. And again, I could be using this incorrectly, but that's my understanding. And I did ask in one of the SaberSim office hours about that, and they said, yeah, that's correct. So I probably do need a little bit of a refresher on using the editor though. And good idea. Maybe I'll have them come in. All right, that'll do it. Good luck, everybody. And I'll probably poke my head in after the Portland news comes out or whatever it is. Oh, right now, JJ, I mean, all of them. Dennis Smith Jr., Ellerby, that Greg Brown dude, Ben McLemore or whatever. But it depends who's starting. All right, good luck, everybody. That's true too, Adam.